Part of my strategy now also for Bitcoin is every time it goes down, I would stack. It may not replace gold, but it looks like right here, right now, it's being treated as a storer of value. And full conviction that we're not going back anymore in the midst of what's going to happen to the Philippine economy, what's going to happen to the market, what's going to happen to my investments, what's going to happen to things going my way. Hey guys, so given that we've seen so much battering in the local markets, the US markets, and also the cryptocurrency markets to some effect last week, I wanted to talk about what are you supposed to do when you see your assets start to go down. The biggest challenge to a lot of investors is they buy something because they think it's down. However, after buying it, they see that asset start to go down even lower. And what I want to submit to you is this. When stocks are in a downtrend, when the market is bearish, what's low can get lower, what's cheap can also get cheaper, what you think is already very, very battered can still go lower. You have to look at the trend of the stock, because if it's just falling but it's sideways, then automatically when it starts to hit that support level, for sure it will start to bounce back up, or there's a bigger chance that as it hits that support level, it will start to bounce back up. Or in the same way, when a stock is in an uptrend, of course, as it hits a certain resistance level, there's a narrative also that it will go down from hitting that resistance level. However, because it's in an uptrend, the total direction of it will still be going up. It's a different scenario when the stock is either breaking down or the stock is in a downtrend. And when you see a stock that's breaking down, there's a very, very big chance that it could have just started. Look at this stock right here. Breakdown. After it started to break down, it went lower. After it went lower, you may think, now this is okay already because it has dropped to a certain level. But it goes even lower, and then lower, and then lower, and then lower again. Because a stock that's breaking down, especially if there's either bearish sentiment and there's news that will cause people to not want to buy it higher and want to dispose it, you could just continually see it go lower. And if you look at the progression, sometimes it doesn't really go down straight in a couple of days. Sometimes it drops, it builds a base, then it drops again. Then it drops, it builds a base, then it drops again. That's how markets normally work. Pag bagsak ng isang stock, people start to buy because they think it's cheap, but those who want to sell are not yet done, and then they start selling again, then it starts to break down once again. So very, very important that when you see a stock that's breaking down, it's so important for you, especially if you are a person who's trading, to totally be away from that position. Or if the stock is in a downtrend, it's very, very important for you to stay away from that as well, because you do not want to be in a stock that's trending down, especially if you are a trend follower or if you are a quick trader as well. Similar to these stocks na examples that I'm showing you right here, look at this. They have been dropping massively for a very, very long time. They have been in downtrends for a very, very long time. And if you look at it, up until now, hindi pa sila nakabawi. They have not really gone up. So please remember, there has to be something bigger and more compelling on why you are buying a certain stock. It should not just be that you are buying it because it's lower. And here's the thing, when you buy it because it's lower, totoo naman na hindi mo naman ma-predict na aakyat na siya. Hindi mo naman ma-predict that after you start buying it already, that it has bottomed out already. That's not what I'm saying. I've been very consistent that stock traders, stock investors, your goal never to predict where the bottom is. Our goal is not to predict. Our goal is not to forecast, but our goal is just to base it on what our parameters are. If there's a company that you find that you really, really, really like, pag bumaba siya, because you know as it goes down, its value is way over here. Andito siya ngayon, you buy. Kung bumaba man siya, hindi ka matatakot. One example that comes to mind to me that's very, very recent is Tesla. I'm fully convinced, and I'm a big fan of Tesla. I'm not just a fan of Elon Musk. I'm not just a fan of Tesla, but it's so interesting in a way that I really believe that EVs are just at a point where it's just starting. The biggest problem of Tesla the past few years is the ability to be able to mass produce these cars. And if you've been looking at what they're doing, their gigafactory in China, their gigafactory in Berlin, their gigafactory in Texas, it's scaling already. Once they build something that they get to create more and more of this at a very, very faster rate, you will see cars be mass produced by Tesla and you will see them earn at scale. It's a winner take all market. It's a winner take all industry, and this is what I believe. Tesla is miles away from its nearest competitor. The traditional car companies, it will take a long time for them and they will lose money first before they can actually compete with where Tesla is right now. And I'm just talking about the EV portion of it. There's so much that's so exciting about Tesla. Even their battery technology is amazing. Their artificial intelligence is way far from any other car that's out there. The chips that they have are way ahead also in what they're using. And please remember, this is me saying this because I'm doing my research on the company. Don't just buy it because I'm saying it here. This is not financial advice, but this is my take on the company. I hope you do your own due diligence also when you study and you invest. Please remember, it's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will take care of your money more than you. So I really believe that autonomous driving will be the future. You will see more and more of this later on, and Tesla will be at the forefront of this. They will take a big chunk of Uber in terms of revenue because a lot of people will be sharing cars already and a lot of people may not need ownership anymore, and because of autonomous driving it will be relatively safer for people to drive also because you have algorithms and permutations of the computer that will make driving safer for a lot of people. I did the poll and you can ask this to a lot of people. If given a choice, what will you buy, a Tesla or a BMW? A lot of people will say they'll even pick a Tesla more than a BMW. That's how things have changed right now because people buy the next coolest thing. And what's so interesting about Tesla is if you're in it, it's so cool eh. And that's why when it dropped below 600, 550, above 500, I was fully convinced that I wanted to add, I wanted to stack, I wanted to buy some more. I knew that there was a risk that it could still go lower. I knew there was a risk that if I come in 500 plus, it could go to 400. Please remember, last year Tesla's stock price was very, very low. It hit before they did their stock split. It hit around $200 US, then they did their split. So from where it was near 900, should it go down to 450, half of its price, it was still up from where it was from last year. But I wasn't buying it because it was just down. I was buying it because I knew that X amount of years later, EV, battery technology, autonomous driving, artificial intelligence, brand, Elon Musk, put all of that together, mass production of all of its cars, the value from where it is right now would be very, very low to where it would be later on. And that's my conviction. You have a certain conviction on your position for that particular company. And what's so interesting about that is this when you have a conviction on something, no one can take that away from you Now, here's the thing. I could be wrong. Tesla may not hit that number. Tesla may not do well. But you learn to live and you learn to die off of your convictions. Now, how do I know if I'm wrong? If any of those scenarios also, when I start to analyze them, would change, suddenly there are other cars who are overtaking them in terms of artificial intelligence, autonomous driving, or suddenly they can't ramp up their production of their cars, then those will be sell signals also for me. But that's what I'm saying. Conviction comes from you doing your research. Conviction comes from you doing your due diligence. Conviction comes from you knowing what you're getting into. Let's even talk about Bitcoin. There are allocations in my portfolio where I would trade Bitcoin, but here's what's interesting. Part of my strategy now also for Bitcoin is every time it goes down, I would stack. I see that it really looks like Bitcoin will replace gold. It really looks like Bitcoin is digital gold. It may not replace gold, but it looks like right here, right now, it's being treated as a storer of value. And full conviction that we're not going back anymore. More and more financial institutions would be coming in and would be buying it. More and more companies would be adding it to its balance sheet. Now that means also that I don't think it's gonna go down to zero. I don't know. Before, if you'd watch my videos in 2018, I would say that I want a position in Bitcoin because it could be the future or it could be nothing at all. Now I'm saying that I'm fully convinced that it may not go to zero. It's not gonna be nothing at all. Because why? When it drops and people see it as a store of value, financial institutions see it as a store of value, corporations see it as a store of value, every time it drops, they're gonna stack. I don't know what price Tesla bought Bitcoin, but assuming that it's 30,000 US dollars, every time you would see Bitcoin drop, there's a big chance that they would continually buy some more. And the fact that they said that they would accept Bitcoin as payments for their Tesla, and they won't even swap that Bitcoin to fiat back again once people start paying them, speaks volumes already on their conviction towards it. And that's what I'm saying also. You need to have that kind of conviction every time you start investing. And that's why also whenever I see large corrections, massive drops for Bitcoin, I'm gonna stack. I'm gonna add some more because that's my belief. However, my belief, my conviction, my research does not translate into your conviction. Think about how I went through the process of analyzing, talking about Tesla. Look at that process, and you need to have that also when you start investing. Above and beyond the numbers, conviction on why you are buying it matters the most, so that when you see corrections, when you see volatility, when you see it go down, you won't be shaken. It's never about what you're buying. It's all about what are your reasons, what are your rules, why you are buying it. Because those reasons, those strategies, and those rules while you're buying it, yun yung magpro-protect sa inyo when things are not going your way. In the midst of the lockdowns, in the midst of ECQ, in the midst of all of the uncertainty, in the midst of not knowing what's going on, in the midst of what's gonna happen to the Philippine economy, what's gonna happen to the market, what's gonna happen to my investments, what's gonna happen to things going my way. This is where you learn. This is where you get better. It's easy to make money when the market is bullish. It's easy to make money when everything is going up. However, when things are not so fruity, when things are so scary, when the light at the end of the tunnel cannot be seen yet, that's where your skills get enhanced. That's where you get bigger, better, stronger. And that's what I'm asking you. Write it down. Put it as part of your reference before you buy a stock. Hindi pwede dahil sinabi lang ng isang tao na maganda. Hindi pwede dahil, hindi, magiging 20 pesos yan, magiging 100 pesos yan, magiging 100,000 US dollars yan. There has to be something beyond. Mababa siya, pwede siyang umakyat lalo. You need to know that. I haven't even touched about valuations, PE ratios, fair value, but those are things that you need to know when you're buying something. I'm not sure if you've noticed it. What we're trying to impart in this channel is not to give you picks na ito yung bibili nyo bukas, ito yung bibenta nyo next week. Hindi eh. This channel is all about giving you skills. This channel is causing you and pushing you to think further. This channel is here so that, kailangan ko muna pag-isipan yun, kailangan ko muna i-research yun bago ako mag-act. Because that's how money's made eh. It's not get rich quick. It's something na pinaghihirapan. It's something that takes time to be developed. And I'll say this over and over, and you might be, baka naiinis na kayo sa akin dahil sinasabi ko ito pa ulit-ulit, don't rush it. Kung empleyado ka, in your first 6 months, you're not as good yet kumpara nung 10 years ka na nagtatrabaho. Why are you pressuring yourself that if you're not performing on your first 6 months, first year, first 3 years, to be good at something, to grow well, it always takes time. But your advantage right now, all 240,000 subscribers of this channel, your advantage right now is you are in the right direction. 2021 may not be your best performing year, but does it matter? It doesn't matter because you're not competing naman with anyone but yourself eh. You are investing because you want to hit your financial goals. Use this Holy Week, use this time that you're alone to actually research, to actually do your due diligence, to actually create a scenario na what if the market drops massively lower? Or what if this stock goes lower? Sasalo na ba ako? Mura na ba siya dito? Maganda pa ba yung future niya pag binili ko dito? Is my upside bigger already if I buy it here? What about the dividend yields? What about its competitors? Are they really hit because of the pandemic? And those are questions that you need to ask. You can watch all 1,800 videos of mine, but you cannot get my conviction. Conviction happens when you study, you do your due diligence, you execute, and you build experience. Yung experience part na yan, it takes time. I'll say this over and over. Yung experience part na yan, it takes time. I've been investing for over a decade. Rex Mendoza has been investing for over 3 decades. His experience is so valuable. That's something that I can ask as much questions from him. I can learn from him, but I cannot get what he went true. Because when you go through tough times, that's when you get bigger, better, stronger. When everything is so scary, when everything is not so optimistic, this is where you build skill. Don't shy away from this. Don't shy away from this time. You embrace it, you move forward, and you use this to hone your skills so you get better. So what are the things that you need to know from a technical analysis standpoint, from a fundamental analysis standpoint, from a macroeconomic standpoint? Weave them all together and create your trading plan. So I hope you got something from this, and I hope that this is something that helped you. Not again your normal technical analysis type of videos, but I believe that this is for someone. If this is for you, put it in the comment section. I needed that. If you are here also up until the end, comment below. I stayed up until the end. And if you're new to this, my name's Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. In the same way, I'm also a best-selling author. I just love sharing my thoughts, my ideas, and give as much as I can to this generation, because I really believe that it's time that all of us grow, but not just grow, that we leave something for the next generation, that our generation would be massively richer. Because we took the time to build, we took the time to grow, and we took the time also to both save and invest for our future. So if you like more of these videos, we have thousands of videos in our channel that you can watch all for free. And if you like this, subscribe and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with my daily videos. And with that also, two things I'd like to announce. We have a Zoom course happening, which we will fully talk about technical analysis, MACD, ADX, RSI, moving averages, trend lines, candlesticks, everything. If you are from whatever part of the world, Germany, London, Italy, Canada, US, Australia, Japan, Korea, Singapore, we're doing this for you, that you don't actually need to be in the Philippines, so that you can learn via our Stock Smarts course as well. And lastly, we have books that are available in both Shopee and Lazada. They can be delivered wherever you are if you want to consume content via reading. But either way, regardless of how you want to consume, what matters the most for me is that I hope I add value to you. That's all I want. That I give more value than whatever I would take. That I give as much as I have to help you get better. Marvin Germo, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.